one of the biggest questions I actually get is, how do you learn to develop applications for iPhone? Now, it's not as easy as just typing in a load of words and shit coming up on the screen. That is really not how it works, okay? I've made one tutorial of a really simple, crappy app, and a lot of people still didn't understand. I don't expect you to understand. I mean, I wouldn't even understand that if I didn't know any code. You've got to start from the bottom, just like when you're a kid. I mean, you don't learn to run straight away, do you? I mean, you start crawling, walking, then running, I suppose. So, if you're going to start developing something, don't just try and jump into it just by, getting frustrated because you can't write code, etc. Because I know how hard it is. I mean, I've always had an interest since I was not very big. And because of that, I've actually learned it at quite a young age. And I mean, I didn't start off on Objective-C. Objective-C is probably one of the hardest ones I know. And I probably started off on Ruby. Now, Ruby is very simple, okay? You can even do an online thing. And when you explain to people, how much you have to actually learn, they get put off by it and they don't bother. Now that is annoying because the possibilities you have once you know quite a few programming languages is just phenomenal. I mean, yeah, just because I know a few languages, it's really easy to, well, not easy, but it's easier to learn new languages. I mean, this, my own website, I never thought I'd have. Give me, I don't know, 3 years ago, I wouldn't know how to make a website. I don't know if it's going to come up. Give me 3 years ago and I wouldn't know how to make a website like that. Never mind an iPhone application, which you've already seen. I'm not going to show you that. But, Ruby, look how simple that code is. It's actually straight to the point, you type what you want it to do. Now that's pretty easy. Alright, so start off by doing stuff like this. But there's also another way. If you're already familiar with HTML, PHP, JavaScript, and that's about it really. If you're already familiar with them, there's actually there's actually an xCode thing you can download, which is what's it called? PhoneGap, alright? Now, PhoneGap, how can I explain it? It's a framework and a template, I suppose, for iPhone, which actually enables you to use HTML-based apps. Now, I don't recommend building these as a good app because it's not going to work. I mean, HTML has limitations, and you're not going to get the best out of your app, okay? But it's a great starting point, honestly. I made this app earlier on this morning, just for this video actually, and this is what I've made in literally not that long, okay? So I've recreated my website into an iPhone version, and this is what I actually got, okay? I mean, obviously it's not very pretty because it didn't take me long. But everything is native. It's native to the app. It's not going online to get anything. This I kind of messed up because the images are too big. But, you can't expect everything in 10 minutes. These might actually work. They're supposed to redirect you to an internet browser. They're not doing that at the moment. Alright, maybe they are. It's a little bit slow. But, from that, that would have taken you a while probably in Objective-C. Now, I programmed that in literally, I don't know, 30 minutes. And it's so just easy to make. I'm not going to go through with you how to make HTML because it's not hard. Alright, it already puts all this code in for you. and you literally, I think you start. Where do you start? You start by here somewhere. Okay, I can't remember where. Yeah, you start by here. Alright. Then you start here, and I wrote the rest. Okay, I wrote down from there. But if you were familiar with HTML, you already know how to write all this probably. Alright, so I wish I could go over the HTML programming with you, but really I don't have time. I mean, I literally have 10 minutes now before I have to start doing some work, okay? And that includes editing and uploading this video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you're probably not going to get it unless you know HTML, but there are loads of HTML things on the internet, and it's an easy language to start learning from. And so is PHP. If you have any questions, sorry, yawning. See, I'm so tired I am. Sorry guys, I did forget to mention one other thing. On my website, which I'll post a link to, you can actually download 2 books which I bought. One is Objective-C for beginners, and the other one is Stephen Koshan's book. The one I used mostly was Stephen Koshan's. I mean, once you start reading them and you understand it, then you can actually teach yourself, sort of thing. But they're very useful to start off with, okay? That's all. If you have any questions, just put them down there and I'll get back to you, okay? PhoneGap is available if you just Google it, and so is xCode. Alright? Thank you very much, and good night.